What's up guys, it's Ian here, back today with another video. One of my subscribers requested for me to make a video tailored to people of all levels, particularly beginners. So today I'm here to bring you a leg workout for people of all levels. I'm going to give you 3 main categories of exercises with a variation for any level of trainee, and then 2 ab exercises at the end with variable difficulty as well. The first exercise is going to be the chair sit to stand. This exercise is going to be a fundamental exercise in helping you to develop sound squatting technique and move on to either heavier loading or more difficult variations such as the split squat or pistol squat. When performing the squat, you want to focus on bending at the hips and the knees, leaning forward a comfortable amount, and balancing your body weight over the midfoot. If you feel uncertain about your technique, go ahead and send me a video of it and I'll be happy to assess it in a future video. Moving on to the next variation is going to be the 2-legged chair sit to stand with weight. Once you feel comfortable with the 2-legged sit to stand without weight, it's a good time to add some weight. Now we're just going to start holding some weight against the body. For me, I'll hold a small plate. If you don't have access to weights, go ahead and fill a backpack with some textbooks or hold a large jug of water and hug it against your chest. Make sure you select a chair that doesn't have wheels, that isn't going to move when you stand up. Make sure your footwear has enough traction to not move. As always, exercise caution. If you found those first 2 exercises easy, this next exercise is going to be a single leg chair sit to stand. If you found the single leg chair sit to stand a little bit too challenging, consider sitting back down with 2 legs and then standing up with 1 leg each time you do it. In that manner, eventually you'll become comfortable enough to perform the exercise with 1 leg. Now, if you found all 3 of those exercises easy, we're gonna take a weight and now we're gonna perform the single-legged sit to stand with weight.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what
I can feel it. So let's say you found all 4 of these exercises easy. The next step would be to start over from the beginning without the chair. That means perform the 2-legged squat with no weight, no chair, 2-legged squat with weight, work towards a pistol squat or lunging variation with no weight, and then the pistol squat or lunge variation with weight. So that was the squatting category of exercise. Next up, we have the hip bridge category of exercise. This category is going to train the hamstrings and the glutes. We're going to start off with the basic 2-legged hip bridge. If you found that exercise easy, we're gonna move on and perform the 1-legged hip bridge.
we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on.
The goal of this exercise is to lift the hips. You really want to feel it in the hamstrings and the glutes. So focus on those muscle groups when you're performing this exercise. If you found those 2 exercises easy, the 3rd exercise in this category is going to be the 2-foot slider hip bridge. If you have sliders, that's great. If you don't, just make sure you have socks on and use a hard floor. So I'm gonna start with my legs outstretched on the heels of my feet, and then I'm gonna slide my heels and feet towards me until my hips are bridged. So I'm going to curl my feet towards me and lift my hips at the same time. This exercise is a lot harder than the hip bridge. Keep that in mind when performing it. If you found that exercise easy as well, then the next exercise is going to be the single leg slider hip bridge. That last exercise was a lot more difficult than the first 2 exercises, and this 4th exercise is significantly harder than the 2-legged version.
Finding life along the way.
That was super hard. I only got 3 repetitions on each side. Let's say that you found all 4 of those exercises easy. To progress these, since there's no chair to remove, we would just add weight. I definitely can't add weight yet to the single leg slider hip bridge, but I'll quickly show you how you would perform each of the first 3 exercises with weight.
Melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat.
Try to make sure that the weight stays centered over your hip area. If the weight comes too high on your body, it won't really be exerting the same amount of force on the working muscles. So by keeping that weight closer to your hips, you're gonna be able to make the exercise more difficult the way it should be. Let me know down in the comment section below how far along that series of 4 exercises you made it, how many repetitions you got on the slider variations if you were able to do them, and once you added weight, how far did you make it through the progressions. When you're selecting the variation that you want to perform, just be realistic and honest with yourself about what you think you can do, and don't jump too far ahead before you're ready. Alright, this next category of exercises is going to be the standing calf raise. We're gonna start off with 2 legs and no weight, just to give everybody an entry level exercise.
And on we'll go.
If you found that exercise easy, the second exercise is going to be the 2-legged calf raise with weight.
Through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays.
If you found both of those exercises easy, the next medium level exercise is going to be the single leg calf raise. If you are physically able to walk and healthy and not injured, your calves regularly handle more force than your entire body weight. So doing a single legged calf raise, although it might seem difficult, it's actually not that bad. I'd say balancing is the harder part, and have something in front of you to reach out and gain balance if you start to lose balance.
And on we'll go. Through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Alright, so if you found the single leg calf raise manageable, we're going to move on to the weighted single leg calf raise. This exercise is going to help you become slightly more injury resistant in case you're mid-fall and you have to catch yourself at an awkward angle. Being able to handle forces in excess of your body weight on one foot is going to make it so that if these situations do occur, it's not like you've never experienced it before, and you will become more resilient to injury as a result. If you found all 4 of these exercises easy, I would progress this exercise by either adding more weight, or if you don't have access to more weight, consider putting the ball of your foot on a raised surface to increase the range of motion. If you hold the resistance constant and increase the range of motion, then you're going to create more damage to the targeted muscle by forcing it to do more work. Because it's pushing against the same resistance through a longer range of motion, more work is being done as a result. I'm going to use a 2.5 pound rogue plate. It's about, I'd say, 1 centimeter thick. I'm just gonna demo this exercise for you right now to show you what it would look like with an increased range of motion.
And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled.
When changing the range of motion on an exercise, I categorize the new range of motion as its own exercise because you haven't yet moved through that range of motion in this workout. I would actually warm up from just the body weight with this new range of motion. So don't jump into the fully weighted version of the exercise once you change the range of motion, but I would start back over from the beginning and warm up with the new range of motion that you intend on performing.
Them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And on we'll go. Through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on.
Hopefully you found some of those leg exercises useful. Now we're gonna move on and I'm gonna show you some ab exercises with a variation for trainees of all levels and work our way up to some more difficult versions. The first exercise in this category is going to be the basic crunch with the feet down. We're not gonna do anything too fancy here because I don't wanna have this first entry level exercise be limited by anything for this entry level workout.
We'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on.
With the basic crunch, I'm really just aiming to lift my shoulder blades off the mat. I'm not coming any higher than that, so I'm not lifting my lower back off the mat. I'm actually trying to maintain contact between my lower back and the mat and just lift the shoulder blades off. The second variation in this category is going to be the crunch with the knees over the hips. Almost the same as the basic crunch, having the knees over the hips is going to allow you to just get a slightly more full contraction of your abdominal muscles as you perform this exercise. Let me know down in the comment section below if your back also makes farting sounds on the mat when you perform knees up crunches. Definitely wonder if that happens to other people. The next ab exercise is a different category. This is going to be the Russian twist performed with the feet down. You have the feet down, leaning back. I like to keep everything between the bottom of the chest and the hip still and just kind of move from the upper back. So I'm rotating from the upper back. The next exercise is going to be the Russian twist with the feet lifted off the ground. The fundamentals of this exercise still apply. I'm really trying to squeeze the abs to prevent that area of the back from rotating. It's okay to rotate from the upper back on this exercise. It's one of my beliefs that in sport and athletic performance, one of the main functions of the abdominal muscles is to prevent movement. It also provides a layer of padding if you need to absorb hits to the midsection, but for the most part, their primary purpose is to limit and prevent unwanted movement of the spine. I made a video breakdown on the stiff leg deadlift and I talked about how Americans were performing the stiff leg deadlift before people started calling it the Romanian deadlift, and I feel like people have been performing this abdominal anti-rotation exercise long before Russia was even a country. I don't know why this exercise is called the Russian twist. I know somebody's going to ask me that. I'll do more research. If you found all 4 of these ab exercises easy, then I would add some weight. When doing the weighted crunch, I like to have the weight somewhere above my chest or shoulders. Make sure you have a firm grip. The reason why I like to have the weight over the chest or shoulders is because I feel like it applies more force to the working muscles in this exercise. Don't drop anything on yourself. Hopefully you found this video useful. I wanted to put an exercise progression that should be accessible to trainees of all levels in each category. So whatever level you're at, pick the progression that suits you the most and train it diligently with good technique until you're able to move on to the more difficult progressions, and let me know down in the comment section below which exercise you selected out of each category. If I get enough requests, I will make a version of this video for the upper body exercises as well. Thank you for watching and have a good day.